John Warren, who's market maker industry at EnergieSprong. Over to you, John.
Thanks, Eric. Morning, everyone. I'm John. I've been working with EnergieSprong since it landed in the UK in 2016. I mainly work on the industrial side, but hopefully this is really interesting to housing companies in how we might encourage the market to deliver new net zero solutions. What's really inspiring us at EnergieSprong and what the community kind of believes in is that we think it's entirely possible that people should be able to walk out of some of the homes pictured here on the left and within a week or potentially even a day walk back into one of the homes on the right. Really, the home should perform to be a better home than a new build home. It should be, so that kind of means it should be warm and comfortable every day, and the whole solution should be no more expensive and completely affordable from what you might spend on energy and maintenance. If you take a long-term view, so typically the 30-year view that many housing providers take, and of course it should be net zero energy. So getting to our 2050 goal in one step, and that's for the whole appliances as well as all of the low carbon heating and technology that you put in. We think if you do that, if we just move on to the next slide, there is pretty much an unlimited market, or a market that is so much bigger than we really need to get this going. And the figures are pretty similar. We work across several markets in France, Germany, of course the Netherlands, and now Italy. And really the maths is pretty similar for all markets. That if we can get the costs of retrofit, of a net zero retrofit down by 20% from say £1,000 a metre squared to 800, then we can really unlock sufficient volume where the industry could be self-sustaining. And perhaps the numbers up there, you heard Eric's numbers, probably EnergieSprong maths is worse than the Catapult's maths, but we're possibly looking at a market 100 million homes or 20,000 homes a day. So this market really is absolutely huge if we can all work together and kind of get that market signal out and get the investment rolling in innovation. So a couple of our ambitions on the next slide. Thanks, Anna, is to industrialize this. So I've got nothing against the trades you see on the left, but we're constantly hearing that skills are limited. People are retiring faster than they're being recruited, and we really don't think that they are the kind of solutions that can scale up quicker, faster, and at the pace we really need for that. So what we're trying to encourage is solutions that you see on the right here. So about modularized components using modern methods of construction. So building wall panels, roof panels, energy modules in factories where they really are able to deliver the scale, the integration and the price points that we need to do retrofit well to the standard required and in the timescales and at the cost required. So yeah, on the next slide, I said about the market, and we constantly hear from the supply chain that there is a market tipping point, and we've seen it in the Netherlands, a market tipping point of around 5,000 homes, where the larger players can back some of the innovative ideas and really get the investment going to scale up. So we're on this journey, and we see our objective as delivering 5,000 homes in the UK. And we're really just copying the case study example that the Dutch put together. They got things going in 2010, did initial pilots of one home at a time in 2014, moved to streets in 2015, and by 2017 they were addressing neighbourhoods, and have reached that 5,000 home level where the market is able to restructure itself and invest to deliver the capacity we need. Okay. On the next slide, so our job really, we're a not-for-profit market development team. So our job is really to copy that Dutch example. We're working with the French, Italian, German teams as well just to check in and share ideas across the piece and build this kind of runway for the supply chain to bring new solutions into the market and test them and create that early market volume in social housing. So sorry about the slightly chaotic diagram at the bottom. You know, the helicopter view is kind of a smooth ramp towards these 5,000 homes, but of course it has been quite lumpy project where we've got funding for early pilots in Nottingham, first 10 EnergieSprong homes outside the UK, and then working with Moat Homes with Essex, a pilot down there. 2020 this year we're delivering some pilots in Devon across 3 social landlords, and all whilst that's going on we've managed to attract some new investment, particularly through the first whole house retrofit schemes that Bayes launched. So that's 100 homes in Nottingham and another 100 in the London Borough of Sutton. We're also looking ahead and working as part of the London Mayor's Retrofit Accelerator Scheme, and looking at how we can create a procurement vehicle to allow innovation to flourish and invest and scale up, whilst delivering some of the scale and simplifying that route to procurement for innovative net zero homes, and of course with our eye on that prize of going to 5,000 homes hopefully in the next few years. And then on the next slide, just to really talk about the different bits of the puzzle in terms of reaching a scalable market for net zero homes. We're kind of starting with between demand and supply. So what is the product that housing providers need, and how can the supply chain respond to that? So the first animation, if you could click on, Anna, just shows a collaborative commitment that we're putting together to say, sorry, you probably can't read the numbers there, but as we progress the scale of the scheme, how can we drive down costs and really build something that builds the scale that's required, collaborating between demand and supply. On the next point, we're working deeply with the supply chain to create these modular components and the solutions we need to put together the schemes and get them invested and get them solutions where they can really scale up what they're doing and implement and learn by doing. We're also point 3 is about working with government on the leadership, supportive policy, and making sure that the market has the landing zone to really work. So that involves, of course, attracting some investment, following some of the UK example of UK wind, where there was a commit and review strategy that enabled the scale to grow. VAT is a challenge for whole house retrofit. Housing associations pay or can't recover VAT, whereas local authorities can. So can we level that up? Checking in on the regulation around comfort as a service or comfort plan, making sure that we've got interest rates, some of the rates that our European neighbours achieve would be really good, and making sure that we're kind of focusing our innovation efforts around that net zero target. And the final point on here is, as we move from pilots, which perhaps the FD could fund from revenue accounts, really have we got some structural finance in place that will enable them to co-fund some of the capital investment needed to hit that net zero target? And are there novel forms of finance that could be good value in and around comfort as a service? So yeah, that's EnergieSprong in a nutshell.